Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Verified Vanguard. So, I've changed the name of my YouTube channel again. I don't know why, just for the heck of it, decided to make a change. Also, I decided to remove the word cube. Now, does this mean I'm going to stop doing Kubernetes stuff? No, absolutely not. It's just that I decided it was time for change. I had Cube Ambo, Cube Ambassador, Cube Vanguard, Cube, Ice Cube. Got to have something different. So, we got renewed last week or the week before as Vanguards, the people who are Vanguards. And so I thought to myself, hey, everything in life now is verified. Every site you go to, you become verified. So why don't I become the Verified Vanguard since I've been renewed now for the third time, I think. So I'll put a big check mark and not pay the money to be verified. And I'm verified, okay? Big, whatever verified check mark. So I'm the Verified Vanguard now. I will continue to do Kubernetes stuff, obviously, but I'm going to also do more Veeam and other interesting material. So, what am I going to talk about this week? Well, tomorrow I'm going on a trip, another trip. This time Chicago, very warm city this time of year. Actually, not, but I did check. It's going way up to 17 degrees Celsius when I'm there, which is really weird. Nevertheless, going there for the Comptia conference, a forum and awards dinner. Very security oriented, so it's going to be very interesting. I've signed up for a few workshops, and that should be fun. So I'm fly out of Billy Bishop Airport. It's a small airport here on the island, which is a lot of fun. And I fly into Midway Airport in Chicago. And there's the orange subway line that takes me right down to my hotel. I love doing that kind of thing because an Uber and a taxi in every city is exactly the same. So are highways. They're exactly the same. Public transport isn't. That can be a bit risky sometimes and fun, but hey, that's the whole point of living, right? So no Uber, no nothing. Orange subway line. And they have a great bike share. I've just checked that out. Incredible bike share. So in my free time, which won't be very much, but nevertheless, I will take advantage of the bike share. Okay, so when I go on trips, what's one important thing I take with me? The shoehorn. Because if you're rushing somewhere and you use a shoehorn at home and you put your finger in your shoe to try to quickly, you could break your finger. Now I have insurance, travel insurance, obviously, but you don't want to break a finger in the U.S. I mean, you might end up with a second mortgage. So yeah, take the shoehorn. This one's a bit long because I don't like the little teeny ones, so it's good. It does fit in the luggage. You got to kind of bend it. However, be prepared. The airport security people freak out about the shoehorn. I don't know what it is. They see it on the radar scanner, and artificial intelligence obviously gives them the wrong idea, and they inevitably pull out my shoehorn and give me a weird look. Now I explained to them this is not a metal shoehorn. If it was metal, I can understand. The whole kung fu stuff with the metal shoehorn. But this is plastic, so it would hurt if you hit pretty hard, but you're certainly not going to cause any real damage with the plastic shoehorn. Some airports are better than others. Phoenix, Arizona was a bit. I think down there they're just crazy about everything. They see a shoehorn, it's 451. We got a weapon here. Okay, get them down. All this and that, and they patted me down, and then they saw the shoehorn and felt a little bit silly. But hey, some people. It was a slow night at the airport. It was late at night, and maybe they hadn't seen a shoehorn in a long time. Maybe they don't have shoehorns in Phoenix. It's possible. Civilization's not gotten everywhere. All right, stop making fun of it. It was a beautiful look. I love Phoenix. I had a great time, and I don't mind the airport security if they're having a slow night. So what else am I taking to Chicago? I'm taking Hoopy. There's Hoopy. Yes, famous Hoopy, who will inevitably find himself in interesting photos. I'm taking the Veeam user group postcard because that's also quite nice. Oh, look, it goes purple because of the background. Isn't that cool? And of course, I'm taking Vanny Vanguard and Alfred, the legend cat. Okay, so that's not really purple. That's just the background screen. Really cool. Plus, to stick it all together, I take this great Veeam. Oh, look, it's gone purple too. It's actually green, but Veeam clip thing. And it has on the back a magnet, so you can actually put it on things. However, do not put it on the hotel fridge. In fact, the hotel fridge, consider that to be radioactive, all right? And I'll tell you why. One of my jobs, we were supporting a customer, and it was a hotel. And the IT person there gave me a tour of all the secret software they have. Those fridges, you touch the fridge, ding, $10. You open the door, $20. You put milk in there or something overnight, which I did once, they'll try to charge you. Now, you can argue your way out if you haven't drank anything or taken anything from the fridge, but they'll see, because maybe people are rushing, they don't pay attention to their bill, and there goes $50. So I just don't touch the fridge. The fridge is, somewhere I do not go in hotels. Automatic money. The hotels in general are extremely expensive, and I don't know if it's really worth it. I'm going to try to convince my company maybe to go to Airbnb. I like Airbnbs. Airbnbs are fun. You never know what you're going to get. Anyways, let's go and see what we're going to look at this week. This week, we're going to talk a bit about UTB, and we're going to talk about some interesting stuff, especially when it comes to backups and IAM and STS. Now, what's IAM? IAM is originally from AWS. It's authentication, right? And STS are service tokens. Now, I've been reading about this recently. It's a lot of fun, interesting, because you can now use these with UTB. You can use them with UTB. And what does it do? Well, to make a long story short, let's just say you've got a whole bunch of Veeam agents out there, right? And you don't want them all to use the same username, right? Because then everyone would be able to see theoretically everyone else's files. So that's one reason. So what happens when you create the IAM and the STS, every Veeam agent automatically will get their own access key to the storage, to object storage. So it's quite cool, and I'll demonstrate it right now. So here's my Veeam, and let me just pull over UTB as well. So UTB's here. So I've already done this. I always test beforehand not to look stupid. And there is the key. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete the key. Okay. So I've got my login. This is my access key, and I've also got a secret access key, secret key, and access key there. And I made that connection. Let's do this. Let's delete this key. Okay. I've put in my password in UTB to do this. Okay. It's irreversible. Oh no. Okay. Now what's going to happen? So I set up the agent. Now the agent, when you set it up, doesn't matter how you set it up as far as in the inventory, in what group or protection group, but it has to be managed, okay, by the agent. So this won't work if it's managed by the VBR, because then the VBR is basically doing all the authentication with the UTB or the S3 you're using. Now this is called direct, okay, direct object store, and that's what makes the difference. So when I added this, and I manually added it, and there it is right there. It's got a whole bunch of stuff in here, but that's the one right at the end. I added it as being run or controlled by the agent, not by the server, okay? Now, I can start a backup here, and let's just start one, and you're going to see what happens. So when I start this backup, it's going to go to the UTB, and it's going to talk to it, and we will see something happen magically. I have to let's just reload here and see. Isn't that cool? That's what I love about UTB. You see that? Isn't that cool? Okay, it hasn't happened yet. Let's do it again. The fireworks. Look at that design. That's cool. Oh, now look. We have IAM. See, there it is. Okay, access key and user key. That has been automatically created by Veeam. So Veeam does all this for that backup. All right. So you ask how to set this up. Oh gosh, it must be complicated. It's not. I mean, IAM can be complicated if you're doing like AWS CLI command line. It's not complicated, but it's a bit of a learning curve. But in this case, Veeam's doing it all for us. You do it with Cloud Connect or VBR. In this case, just VBR. And all you have to do basically is if you go to your backup infrastructure and you go to your repositories, and you can see I have two UTBs here, two UTB buckets, and one's called not IAM bucket. That's so that I remember it's not IAM. But this one, repository, that it's a bucket, but it's repository. This one, however, if we go into the access permissions, remember, you right click on the repository, access permissions, and it should come up on my slow lab relatively quickly. Famous last words. And there it is. In security, okay, I'm not doing agent share credentials to object storage repository. That's direct object. I'm not doing it by server traffic goes through a gateway. I'm doing it through IAM STS object storage capabilities, okay? And all you have to do is tell your repository or tell your Veeam installation where your endpoints are, okay? So you got the IAM endpoint and the STS endpoint. In my case, it's both the UTB. Once you've done that, all the agent jobs that go through here, which are controlled by the agent, okay, will get those access keys, all right? So, I mean, we could try to do another one. I don't think I have another agent in here, do I? Let me just see. I was playing around yesterday, but that is the gist of it. In fact, so I don't know what I've added here. Let's just take a look. Let's see if I create a quick one or not. You'll see the same behavior, basically. Let's try a Linux machine. Okay, my lab's a little slow today. I think I overworked it and it got annoyed. It happens. I don't blame it. It happens to me all the time. Okay, so this is the key thing. Mode has to be managed by the agent, okay? That's very important, and I'll just leave it like that. And let's add somebody in here. Not protection groups, individual computer. And I've got an existing one. Well, okay, let's maybe a protection group. The problem is if I add another one, it's going to do the whole rescan thing. It's going to, so there's this guy. Let's just try him. I think I'm going to have to load that in anyways too. But let's do the entire computer, and we're going to the Veeam backup repository. Okay, that's my VBR. And that's, yes, it's going to OOPI, not to the no IAM, but the OOPI. Okay, great. Let's set that off. Let's just see. I don't even think I've got the agent installed there, so this could take a long time, in which case it won't work for this video, but let's give it a try. So once you do that, it will start to rescan and apply the policy. So let's watch that for a second. We'll also pull up the OOPI. I don't think anything's happened there yet, but as you know, if it works, oh, I just love it. Let's look at that again. Oh, you know, the thing, whoever designed that, I'm going to meet who designed that. I don't know who it was in the company, but I love that. Okay, let's go back to our Veeam and see what's up. Oh, nothing to process. Oh, it's already processed. You know what? I think I already created a job with that, so that won't work. We could try to run an active full. It's gonna kill itself, but anyways, I've got that in another job box. Oh, look at that. Linux agent backup, and it failed too, so that's a bad example. All right, well, I'll add another one later. The problem is when you add a brand new one, it's gonna have to install the agent. It's gonna do all that stuff. That can take quite a bit of time which I don't have because I'm flying out tomorrow. But what I wanted to show you was that it does create that IAM. Now, the good thing is this, is I was deleting here manually, which you shouldn't do. But if I delete the job, so let's say I no longer need this job and I'm going to delete it. Okay, so if I delete that job right here, it'll show me there'll be existing backups that become orphaned. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to delete that. Watch what happens on the OOPI. Gone. See, that access key is gone. So it's all done automatically, which is fantastic. Okay, anything else to add this week? Well, I did a blog yesterday on Backblaze and Kasten because Kasten gave me a free Backblaze. This is like one of those tongue twisters, right? Backblaze gave me a 5 terabyte free account. Thank you very much. And I immediately put it to work. And what did I do? You know what I did? I created a location profile in, I was going to say OOPI, but no, this is in Kasten. So there it is, Backblaze. And I created object immutable as well. Okay, so object immutable. I did a post on the Veeam Community Hub for that, so please take a look at that. It's very interesting. And that'll be it for this week. Getting back to full screen to show my face. Again, tomorrow I'm flying out. I will report from Chicago what's up. I'll put some LinkedIn posts out there, and hopefully I'll meet some interesting people and do a lot of interesting security. I'm doing a workshop for 4 hours on a Monday, a security something trust workshop. So it's gonna be very scary. Imposter syndrome, I'll sit at the back of the class and kind of hide. No, I won't. But it should be pretty interesting and hopefully learn a lot. Okay, we'll see you next week on the Verified Vanguard.